everybody. Hello!
Hello!
Hello and welcome to our podcast.
Woo.
It's me, Justin Moorhouse.
And I'm Danny Mcloughlin.
And we together have a podcast called Room for Improvement, where we speak to experts and professionals and find out a little bit more about their worlds. Yeah? We lift the lid. We take a peek behind the curtain.
Oh, that's a good one.
We scrape the bottom of the barrel. But less about our comedy careers and more about... So that's the idea is, like, we've been told over the number of years by probably boomers, you know, old fuddy farts, that the world is sick of experts, aren't they?
Oh, yeah,
But we're not.
They say a lot of stuff, though.
We guzzle experts, don't we? We gargle experts. We have got feed me experts.
Yeah,
No, that's not right, is it?
I mean, I don't think we should listen to, like, some have said, oh, I really like your comedy, but you're nothing like that Jim Davidson.
Yeah. He's not an expert. Like, so the idea is that we speak to these people and we find out. So far, we've learned to juggle. We find out all about the world of juggling with Steve Royal.
Yeah.
And then
hairdressing.
Hairdressing. And then last week, bike maintenance, cycling efficiency, and all round just staring at Sir Chris Hoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very good. So we got a new episode for you this week, and it's slightly different. More in our oeuvre.
Or egg.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Oeuvre. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Is it earth? I think that's what I heard someone say that once when they were trying to be cool.
What did
and they were like, yeah, it's more in our earth.
More in our egg?
That's more in your egg.
What oeuvre means. Oeuvre. Oeuvre. The body of work of a painter, a composer, or an author.
I like it.
So it's not actually, it's in our wheelhouse.
Yes.
I hate that phrase. Because my son keeps...
Phrase of the week.
Yeah.
Do you know a phrase I like? Or I don't know the word I like, but I don't really know what it means.
Go on.
I don't even know how to say it properly.
Type it.
Milieu.
Milieu. That's right.
Yeah, but what's it?
So that is... it's hard to say, because I often misconstrue that word with a person's social environment. So that's sort of what we were saying.
Oh, right.
It's kind of about where we are.
Right.
But I always confuse it with mise en scene.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Never
mise
heard it.
Mise en scene is so that's a filmic reference. It's used, and you get mise en place as well in cooking. But mise en scene.
I always get mise en place mixed with cordon bleu.
Yeah.
No, I just thought that's where we would go.
Chips. So mise en scene is the arrangement of the scenery or the stage of a theatrical production or the set of a film. So like how it is, how it's set up, the mise en scene.
So various things like where the props are and the artwork.
Yes. It's the sort of
the artwork.
Yes,
like the drawings, right. Or the.
You ready to go in? Right, I didn't realise you were ready to go in there,
mate. I was segueing like that guy who invented the Segway, who died on a Segway.
I know, that's one of my most fascinating things, isn't it? That those run of facts. Do you know this, Rachel?
No.
The man who invented the Segway died on a Segway.
Yeah. And the man who invented the Nerf gun he wanted to kill himself, but he didn't die.
Just soft bullets.
Because he used the Nerf gun.
The man who invented Match.com's wife left him for somebody she met on Match.com. That's true.
Really?
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
When the guy who invented Pringles was cremated, they put his ashes in a Pringles tube.
That's not true.
Can you Google that, Rachel, please?
Okay.
That's not true. Is it true? How come we've got another false flag about Pringles this week?
Why? What was the last one?
You said Pringles were chewed up.
Yeah, they are. Spat in a mould.
Spat in a mould.
And put in the oven.
Oh, it'd be good if that was the case and they had him there, you know, the guy. Amazing. You're telling me that all these Pringles...
Who's that?
Greg Wallace when he goes around the factories.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you found out if that's true or not, Rachel? Did Manu...
I think it might be true.
Shut up. No way.
His ashes were buried in a Pringles tube.
I told you.
Even in death, he was still involved heavily in Pringles. So they're right, aren't they?
Yeah.
Once you pop.
Your clogs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the man who invented Pringles. It's the man who invented the Pringles packaging.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
Same equivalency.
The man who designed the Pringles potato crisp packaging system was so proud of his accomplishment that a portion of his ashes has been buried in one of the tall circular. Frederick J. Barr of Cincinnati. I love that. That's good. We've talked about that before, though, haven't we? About wishes when you die.
Have we?
Yeah, you said you wanted to be thrown off the roof or something.
Oh no, off the hill in Hambridge, yeah.
Yeah. We've already done that.
It's a lot of ash chat.
A lot of that.
All on the floor.
We this week then we are talking about artwork. Are you artistic, Danny?
I haven't been diagnosed.
Got type 2 autism. Self-diagnosed autism.
Yeah.
I am terrible. I remember the first day of school and we did art on the first day.
That's mad.
What?
I think that's mad.
What?
Doing art on the first day.
It was just on the timetable.
I think it's mad that you remember it. Was it your first day of primary school or secondary school?
It's probably not even the first day. I just added
right.
that detail in to give it some kind of, I remember the first day. But I remember it might have been first few months. No, my first art lesson in high school.
Only because in my head, the only reason that felt mad to me is because
Felt mad.
Mad.
Was it mad?
Well, the first day of school.
Was it actually mad?
Yeah. In our primary school, we didn't do any, in our high school, we didn't do any work first day. It was just putting names on books, orientation, shit like that.
Doing you
So
designing
throwing
your
you
front
straight into an art lesson is mad to me, yeah.
Well, I'm probably then saying that I don't count that as your first day. First day is when the knowledge starts going in.
First proper day. First day proper.
Yeah, that's pre-season.
Right.
That's
okay.
still pre-season, isn't it? It's not real.
Okay.
I can't believe you're hauling me over the coals for this. Fucking hell.
Do you know the guy who invented coal?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Old King. Anyway, I don't give a fuck. So, we did art the first time. My first art lesson in high school.
Yeah.
And
about third day.
two things were quite strange because basic art that you get taught at school, it's always about perspective, isn't it? You know, you got to get the perspectives right. And the guy that taught us art had proper dip and dazzle eyes. One at home, one looking for the change.
Dip and dazzle.
He did, there's a bloke who
Did he have scouse eyes? That's what I call it.
Are they?
Boss eyes.
But some people have a lazy eye and it goes that way and one goes that way. He had two, like he was a lizard.
Like a chameleon.
Like you could stick him on the side of his head. That's what he looked like.
That's mad.
There was a man who lived on our street and my mum used to call him Gravy Eyes.
Why?
Because he used to look you up and down. His eyes were everywhere like gravy on a plate.
You called Danny that on the juggling episode.
I called Danny Gravy Eyes. That's why I said Danny had eyes like
I didn't know what it meant, but I remember you saying, "What's up with your eyes? You got gravy eyes. They're all over the place."
It's because I'm trying to watch the balls, isn't it?
Yeah. Watch there, yeah.
Gravy eyes.
Anyway, this teacher had eyes like that, and he was addressing us. Well, I don't know. He could have been addressing the class outside.
Yeah.
But he went, "Everybody comes to my lessons and tells me that they can't draw. Rubbish. Everybody can draw." And I said, "All right." Oh, I thought, well, I'm not going to tell them I can't draw then because he went, "I will teach you the fundamentals," and I can't draw.
I can't draw either.
Shit. Because I think
I'm just thinking about old Gravy, Mr. Gravy Eyes. Maybe his favourite artist was Picasso, and that's why he tried to have one there and one straight on. It was
I think his favourite artist was the guy who took the pictures of page 3.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of a wrong one.
That guy, good guy.
Nancy. Nonce shotter. Titty snapper. Titty snapper Camara.
Do you think... Right, here's a mad
Camera.
question now.
Titty camera.
Oh, do you know Titi Kamara?
Yeah.
Right. Do you know his name was Abubakar? And that's why his...
The name is... No. Rachel, can you Google Titty and boo-boos? No, don't. She's gonna...
Do you know what the last thing I've just Googled is? I don't think I should out myself. Who invented coal? It was China. I just thought it'd be a person.
It wasn't China invented coal.
It was some guy called Pete.
Coal's there.
I thought you were going to ask me about who invented
No
coal.
one's invented coal, Rachel.
That is so stupid.
It's not manufactured. Right. Oh, my God. This is how young Rachel is. Where does coal come from? Don't look it up.
Even before civilization.
No. Look at me, Rachel. Don't look at... Right. Where does coal come from?
Like underground.
But how do they get it out?
By mining.
Yeah. And then do they do anything with it?
Don't know.
No. They just dig it out of the ground and they put it on a fire, don't they? So no one's invented it, have they?
Yeah.
God.
I know that now. But
There used to be a coal miners in Chester, like a big coal place, and guess what street it was on?
Coal Street.
Black Diamond Street.
Probably named after that.
Yeah. It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
By the way, he is called a Boubacar, so that's why his nickname's Titty, because a boob.
That's great, isn't it? That is good. That's one of the all-time great nicknames.
Yeah.
Because of that.
I mean, it's the greatest nickname. I don't want to get on nicknames, but is one size fits all.
Yeah.
That's the best one ever. Let's crack on.
One size. What about Ryan Sidebottom, Sexual Chocolate?
Why's that?
Ryan Sidebottom, they used to call him Sexual. That was his nickname.
Why?
Because he's got like curly hair, hasn't he, like in Coming to America. Sexual Chocolate. It's got like you know, and he puts that
Soul Glow.
Soul
I
Glow.
love it. I love that. Song.
Right, so I'm not a very good artist. Danny's not a very good artist.
Dreadful artist.
Dreadful artist. So what do we need to do then to make ourselves better artists?
Talk to one.
Talk to one. So we had a good chat with our well, he's now our good friend, but he was my good friend.
I never met him.
You never met him? Are you saying he's your friend now?
Yeah, I got on with him.
Yeah. Another Justin.
Yeah.
There's not many Justins about,
No.
but on this podcast, there's two this week.
do you know my dad asked what your real name was? I said, what do you mean? And he said, no, what's his real name? And I said, it's Justin Moorhouse. He went, no, I think that's his stage name.
Oh my God. That would be the worst stage name ever.
No, Justin the Pussy is the worst stage
Justin
name.
the Pussy?
Yeah, because it means you've got a little dick.
But my friends call me Tip. Oh. Rachel's mum and dad have got to watch this now, and you've made it.
Oh, she can bleep that
I don't
out.
mind. Like, they're not like, they're okay with it.
All right.
They like this bit, these bits.
Do they?
Yeah.
It's the best bit.
Do you want to know what they watched it instead of last week when they ran me last
Oh,
week?
that is a great feature.
All right, you ready? What did Rachel's parents watch? What did Rachel's parents not watch last week because they watched this
Right,
podcast?
can
on
I
the
guess
screen?
then?
I don't think you'll guess.
Tipping Point.
No,
No, I'm going to guess.
I don't think you'll guess. It's not really. It's a weird time to watch it.
That's why I said Tipping Point.
Doctors.
No.
What?
Saturday morning kitchen.
Saturday
Saturday
Kitchen.
morning kitchen.
They watched it in bed together. last Saturday instead of Saturday morning.
What are your mum and dad called?
Denise and Tony.
What are the real names?
What's mad is that your parents are only named after legs. You got Denise and Tony.
What about Sheena? Denise and Tony.
Denise and Tony.
Denise and Tony. If you ever remember the names, just give them a look up
Yeah.
and down.
Just make
with
sure
your
that as
gravy
long as they
eyes.
got shorts on,
Yeah.
you always know their names.
Denise.
Shorts and flip flops.
Denise and Tony. Oh, that's so funny. Your dad used to have somebody called Sheena.
Uncle.
Sheena. Uncle. Uncle Tony. Uncle Tony. Is he an uncle, your dad?
Yeah.
Uncle Tony. Uncle Tony, Nancy. She. Oh,
Denise.
oh, that's great. That is good, isn't it?
Really good.
Yeah.
Keep it in.
Keep that in, yeah. What about if you had a daughter called Ella? Patricia Ella.
Patella.
Yeah. Struggling there, aren't we? Too much there, isn't there?
Yeah,
One too many.
Yeah.
So we caught up with Justin, we spoke to him about his career and to see if he could give us some tips on being an artist. So here we go with this week's episode, our special guest, Justin Eagleton. Hello, and Daniel.
Hello.
How are you, Danny?
I'm all right. How are you?
Dan. What do I call you? I call you Danny, don't I?
That's my name, I think. Even though it's not my official name.
What's your official name?
Daniel. Everyone who's called Dan or Danny is called Daniel. No one's called Dan. It's weird.
Maybe you get called Dan by your parents.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's official.
Do you know that kid, Bert Williamson?
Yes, he's very funny.
Yeah, Bert. He's B-U-R-T, isn't he? And it's his name.
Right.
He's not Bertrand or Herbert. He's Bert.
You know my cousin, Stevie?
Stevie,
That's his name.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like Stevie. Good lad, Stevie.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's not very funny. Great driver.
Maybe he'll come on and teach us how to drive
Definitely.
go-karts.
Here's a question for you, Danny. Are you an artist?
I am.
Yes or no?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you already did it. I didn't need to push you there, did I? Are you an artist? Yes.
Yeah.
Am I an artist?
Yes.
Is comedy an art form?
It is.
Do you feel comfortable saying that
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
to your dad?
Yeah.
You said to your dad this is an art form.
It is.
Your dad works in the car factory. He's not having that.
Yeah, but he thinks it's all the same anyway.
What do you mean?
The arts. It won't matter to him. If I say, it's an art form, he go, yeah, it bloody is, isn't it? Shouldn't be doing either of them.
Is he anti-art?
I don't think so, but I think he's one of those, he doesn't value it.
Is he a practical man?
Yeah, he's not arsed about it.
Would
he doesn't listen to music.
Would he more likely have WD-40 in his cupboard than a Pantone colour chart?
Oh, UB40 was right there.
Yeah, it's more WD-40 than UB40.
Yeah.
Art is a strange thing, isn't it? It can be music, it can be comedy or whatever. The creative arts, I think. A big shout out here to UK government if you're watching this podcast. It's about time we started pushing the creative arts more in UK schools.
Before we crack on, is there anything you think that is the arts that isn't art? What could we lose?
NFTs.
Right, yeah.
They're non-fungible tokens. It's rubbish, isn't it?
That's a scam, isn't it?
They are scams. What is that art? I think everything that says it's art is valid because the person that's told you it's art, that's what they're saying it is. So
right. But what could we lose?
What could we lose out of the arts? If we had to lose one, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Morris dancing.
Ooh, one of the original arts.
Yeah, is that too? No, that's too big. That's racist as well.
Mine's similar though. Like it's not. It's a subset. It's not even. It's a specific thing. It's like it's a bit of dance. So dance, I think we should keep.
Yeah.
But stomp, I don't think we need.
What
the fucking bin lids and that.
Yeah.
I genuinely like. If that went, I don't think my life would be any worse.
Do you know the connection between Stomp and the UK comedy industry?
No, but I imagine I'm about to find out.
So Off the Curb.
I do.
Owned by the guy I forgot his name. He passed away.
Addison Creswell.
No. Yes, Addison Creswell.
Yeah.
His brother.
Right.
Is Mr. Stomp.
No.
Yeah. And that's I think that's how they started. I think so. I don't know.
Is that how the agency come about then? He was like carrying a load of like bin lids and that, and then he fell off a curb, and it made a big clash.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Whoa,
Luke Creswell."
Oh, sick.
Luke Creswell is the co-creator of the dance percussion act Stomp. He's self-taught percussionist, one-time member of British busking cabaret musical group Pookie Snackenberger.
I think Stomp's amazing.
So,
I really like it. I think it's a great art. I think. Do you know what? I think the country as a whole would be worse if we lost it.
Doesn't matter. Addison's dead now. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get any gigs off him. He's passed away. I don't think he's dead now. But
You'll edit that out.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, Off the Curb are called Off the Curb because they first represented street acts. Getting them off the curb. Jugglers. Everything's connected.
It is. But aren't these like... These might not know that we've done jugglers yet.
Yeah, but we got some juggling balls.
I know, that's why I wasn't sure about. So yeah, that's dictated the way that this goes.
Let's get on. So you're saying you could get rid of Stomp. I've got a controversial one.
Yeah.
You know, I'd ban graffiti.
Why?
Just in the background there, that was Rachel. Graffiti, because I think graffiti, it blurs the line between expression and vandalism.
No, see, the thing is with me, I'm the other way though. I like the vandalism.
Do you? Do you like mindless tagging?
Yeah. In my head, I'm like, yeah, go and do. That's what that is. If you're gonna go and do a little monkey with a pinny on, go and do it on a canvas.
Oh, okay. Let's agree to disagree.
I wouldn't mind if someone like graffitied my house. Like if I came back and someone had graffitied the front of my house, it wouldn't bother me. I'd like it. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't bother me.
But it depends what it says, though, innit?
Yeah. That's Rachel there talking off camera, without a microphone as well. So we won't hear any of that, will we? You need a microphone, don't you, Rachel? She's gone crimson now. Rachel's got a cherry on. I think I've bullied Rachel today.
Yeah, you have a little bit.
HR.
HR.
I'm showing off, aren't I? There's no HR. I am HR as well.
Isn't that the worst thing when you was young? The worst thing that could be said to you?
You're a bully.
No. Stop showing off.
Yeah.
Just stops you straight. When your mum just goes, look, stop showing off. You're like,
I showed off once when I was about 15. We had some American exchange. You know the story about me, American exchange student?
No.
I was 15 and these people were coming from the David Proudie High School in Spencer, Massachusetts. And I had agreed to have Mike LeBear.
It's only stupid when you say it in that bad accent as well.
Mike LeBear from Spencer, Massachusetts. And it was half term. They were coming at Easter, and it was sort of that February half term. And I was at my nana's in Cleveland's, and I got a phone call, and I went, your mum wants you on the phone. I was like, hello? I was like, what do you want to tell me? I went, what? What do you want to tell me? Well, she went, just had Mrs. Troy on the phone. Apparently we've got a guest coming for Easter. This was like back in the 80s. I'd agreed to house a student and not told my mum. Not told my mum. Oh, anyway, we need to crack on. More of this in the Patreon, probably.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I will tell you this. That, you get welcome gifts. He came to see me and I got him a gift and he got me a gift. He got me like a baseball glove and a bat and a ball. Like amazing presents. I got him.
Honey.
No.
Because you thought he was a bear.
I got him a Man United mug and a chocolate orange.
It's great. I think I'd rather have that, to be honest. Big rounders bat.
Let's talk about what we're going to do today in our room for improvement. So art. What is art? Who is art? How can we art?
Who is art? He sings with Simon.
Yeah, Garfunkel.
Yeah, that isn't that him.
He is Garfunkel.
Oh, yeah.
We're like Garfunkel and Garfunkel, aren't we?
Steptoe and Steptoe.
Wise and wise. Ernie and Ernie. So today we're going to have room for improvement. We're going to find out if we can improve art, an actual physical art, like drawing, proper art, like your dad would say. Proper art, drawing and pencils and painting that, to see whether we could get any better at it and to see if it could help our careers or indeed our lives by being a little bit more expressive with a 2HB. Joining us in our room for improvement today is a professional artist, illustrator and designer born and bred in Manchester. He has over 30 years experience working in the creative industries ranging from his early days. I'm reading this from his website. It sounds good though, doesn't it? Like I've written it. Ranging from his early days designing and making props and sets for television and exhibitions. We'll ask him about that. To becoming a lead graphic artist within the games industry. He worked on many of the best-selling FIFA titles for, who are they called?
What do you mean?
EA Sports.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's in the game. It's Justin Eagleton. Hi, Justin.
Hiya, all right.
Very well. Thank you for joining us in our room for improvement.
Nice one.
Before we go any further, what we always like to do on the podcast, I don't like to do it, is should never judge by a book by its cover, should you?
Not really. Go on.
First impressions do count, though, don't they?
They do.
Danny, what's the shoe game?
Yeah, it's good.
I've already checked both your trainers out.
Yeah.
And I thought we were all doing the colourful Nike.
We're all
Are they
bright Nikes today.
Yeah, what?
Bright
what
Nike day.
what do you know they are?
I don't know.
You're not a Cortez man, are you?
I nearly bought some Cortez yesterday from Cheshire Oaks because they were a collab with Union LA.
Nice.
And I feel like they're... but I looked on the website and they're like 50 quid everywhere else. Cheshire Oaks, 60 quid. Trying to rip you out.
Are you in sneakers most days?
Yeah, most of the time. I don't usually wear normal ones, so I always paint them.
Do you?
So I always have my own individual. So when I wear trainers out,
Have you got a compressor in that?
I do all the painting of them and Posca them, and I've got the leather paints.
Do you use a airbrush?
No, I don't airbrush.
Oh,
No.
I've got one for sale.
Have you?
Do you need one?
I bought one in lockdown because I started painting all my trainers in lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
And I bought an airbrush and I was like, it's going to be too much. So it's still in the box.
I had an idea during lockdown of, I can wrap vans.
Yeah.
Can you wrap trainers? I've still not worked out whether you can. But if you can shrink wrap designs to trainers, you can smash it.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you? You seen that bloke in the Arndale who restores trainers?
Yeah, I've seen him on a few newsy bits.
Yeah, he takes trainers and he gets them. Have you seen them? These people do it. It costs a bit of money, but he gets your trainers like looking bad, but gets them to box fresh. Yeah.
He just repaints them.
Caustic soda. And
No, he cleans them and
Yeah, but then it's just put
But then
2 weeks though.
then if it's the price of a new pair of trainers,
yeah,
just
but
buy
then
some new trainers.
everything he does, right? Whatever he does, because some of them might be like,
Yeah, if you can't
You
get
get
like
The
from
dead
here.
rare ones, I suppose.
and then he put I was watching him and this guy put on he'd had all these trainers done and he was like a proper Addy dad. Just
Yeah,
like
they were.
12 pairs of gazelles.
Daddy Das.
Daddy
No,
dad.
I don't get it.
Oh,
Don't
no,
weird.
flat shoes.
They're
flat,
just gazelles in a different colour.
Yeah,
Call them
gazelles.
Boston or
Gazelles.
Bolton.
Just gazelles.
You know,
They're not even a good trainer.
No.
Got no arch support.
exactly.
They haven't, have they?
No.
So he's done lots of things. So Justin is a kind of an artist of some repute, very sort of like busy on social media and stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I try to be. I have to be, really. I hate it, but I have to do it.
The visual art, you have to get that out there.
You've got to
People
get it
gotta
out
see
there, and I just put it out and share it.
You do a lot of commercial work, stuff for Malmaison, IHG. I'm a big IHG fan.
I know I heard that.
Manchester United, Gatwick Airport, and Travel Lodge.
Yep.
He's had work commissioned from Elbow Frontman Guy Garvey, a pencil portrait of him. Woo! Manchester United legends Sir Bobby Charlton and Eric Cantona.
Yeah, Eric made me cry.
And more recently, he was fortunate enough to paint the portrait of Noel Gallagher. Did you manage to capture the chip on his shoulder very well, did you?
He didn't look best happy when it was handed over. I
he not?
couldn't go to it, so I just got the photo of him with it. Yeah, and he looked like I just painted something horrific.
Really?
Yeah, the picture of him wasn't flattering.
There's some pictures of you on your website. There's one where you're doing like a stripy horse. Is that a Paul Smith thing?
I think they're called zebras.
It's a zebra. But you can have it. You can call it a stripy horse.
Mate, I have to take that one.
You take it.
That is the sort of thing that if I see somebody else say that, I'm just accepting
Take that.
the inevitable. That's not. This is gonna.
It's a stripy horse. We'll
We've
keep
got
it
a
at
clip
that.
anyway. We've got a clip.
Gonna clip clop. Oh man, of course it is a
Stripy horse on safari. Yeah, I did a stripy horse on a wall.
So the zebra is that a Paul Smith thing or a United thing or is it just no?
It was just a branded thing in Barton Arcade in town.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
It
Well,
lasted about 6 months. I spent like 3 days doing it. Made this really cool painting.
for an agency.
Yeah, and then they went
type of-
bust.
Did they?
Somebody just rolled over it. Yeah. Either that or somebody ripped it down and auctioned it. Banksy-esque.
Someone might have it.
This bird.
Right, so we just get you know a little bit better. We have a series of questions that we'd like to ask you.
Absolutely.
We go through them and basically just to get to know you a bit better. And then at the end of that, you're going to give us sort of some tips
Yeah.
to see if Danny and I can be a good artist. Are you any good as an artist, Dan?
No, I am abject.
Before we do are you abject at art?
Yeah, I'm terrible.
Abject at art.
I like it. It's good.
Nice.
Before we do, when we have a go later, we're going to have a go. I think you've got a little task for us.
Got a little task for you.
Yeah, when Justin's going to give some tips on how to be an artist, and hopefully going to do a little task for us to see if we can improve as artists. But we need to know where we're at. Now, I've got a go-to face that I've drawn all my life, right?
Yeah.
Have you got something that you've always drawn?
Yeah, the thing I've probably drawn the most as a
Okay.
kid. It's not a face though.
All right. Well, I'm going to draw my thing. You draw your thing.
All right then.
Do I have to guess what they are? Is it like Darren
No,
Brown?
it's not like that. So mine just takes a few seconds. I'll do mine first.
Yeah, go on then. Are you going to use that inky pencil? Oh, it's a pen.
We can see if we can improve it.
It's good, that.
I draw this like all the time.
Yeah, no one can draw them.
So I'm 53. This is as good as it'll ever get.
Interesting. We've got everything in the right areas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about how many fingers have you got?
4. No, 5.
Oh, you have got 5.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh, it looks it's decent. Everyone can draw. It's true.
Danny's is good. Danny, if you used to do this at school, then there's a man on Twitter that I need you to know about. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Oh, really?
Who I've met. He's a good guy. Look at this.
Hey, look at that. That's ace. It does look like Football Manager from about 1985.
Yeah,
the original one.
Championship manager.
Yeah.
There's a guy on Twitter called Fit the Tweets.
Oh, right.
He does loads of recreates goals.
Well,
like
that's
that.
what I used to do.
Yeah.
Before Fit. So you were pre-Simpsons. I was pre-Fitbit Tweets.
Yeah.
And then I'd do like all crowds and that.
Yeah.
And obviously I haven't done the box. I'd normally do the box, the penalty area and that.
Yeah. Who's that then?
That's me, that cup final.
What's amazing is there's 3 balls.
No, it's to show the progression of the ball.
Slow-mo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that you scored against who?
King's School in the final.
Yeah. Oh, King's School is the posh school round here.
I've just come past that.
Yeah, Danny went to the bad school.
I didn't go to the bad
Danny
school.
went to the bad. He was a bad boy.
I went to the middling school, like the mix.
He was on the wrong side of the tracks. He was a bad boy. Let's find out all about you. We need to get his credentials, don't we, before we allow him to tell us where he's got room for improvement. Are you an expert, Justin, or a professional, or
Both.
I think I'm a bit of both. I'd like to think I am.
I like that, you know.
Bit of both.
No, I like people. Like, sometimes people will go, I'm an expert or I'm a professional. If you came in and just went, I'm both, that's a bit too much. But it's funny you've considered it. But actually, you are an expert and you are a professional. So, you know.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I can make a living out of it. So I'm a professional and I'm very good at some things.
Cool. Origin story then. What's your backstory? How did you start? Tell us give us your CV précis.
A quick run through. I started when I was about 7 or 8, I say.
Drawing
Sunday morning. This is how I think. Sunday mornings, my mum used to do the ironing for about 15 hours on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there listening to her music on a record player.
What music would that be?
Barry Manilow, Billy Joel, Elton John, mum stuff, Stevie Wonder. And I used to draw the covers of the albums.
Did you?
Because they had proper albums then. So I used to get them out like proper gatefolds.
All right. So songs in the key of life and all
Yeah,
that.
all that. So I remember that Stevie Wonder one where he's got the beads. That cover. I could draw that with my eyes shut.
Did you do that joke on purpose?
I do mean to say.
It was a good.
I think you've improved to be a comedian. First improved person.
Yeah. So ironically, yeah. So I used to do album covers. I used to draw lots of people. That's why I got good at drawing faces.
So you just do them. There's no, nobody taught you how to do it?
No. My brother was good at art at the time, and he used to do lots of drawing, and he was at college and stuff.
Yeah.
He went on to become a joiner, which obviously. And I just continued. I just carried on. And I started making money out of it when I was about 13, selling pet portraits in the pub.
Did you?
For a tenner. Yeah. So my dad links a lot of my stories. My dad passed away 3 years ago, but a lot of my stories are connected to my dad.
Yeah.
Which is very strange. It's how he's...
So your dad would take you in the pub and...
Yeah, we grew up almost in the pub because my dad liked to drink. So we used to always be there after school, sat around the pool table, drawing people.
I can't empathise with this. Can you, Danny?
You know. So So people asked me, "Can you draw something?" And I ended up drawing a couple of dogs. Then we put a little poster up in the pub.
Yeah.
Like not kid paints dogs, etc. But like tenor.
Kid paints dogs.
Exactly.
That's a great name for a band.
Yeah. Didn't they do a peel session?
So I just did that, and it started out. I was like it was like 10 quid was a lot.
Yeah,
in the early 80s. So I did that, and then I went on from that, and I always wanted to be my two things. I wanted to be a footballer.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play for United. I played for Rochdale. That was about as far as it got.
Did you?
And,
Did you play the first team?
No, I never made it. I was more like the junior from 15 up to sort of 18. I got a tie. Well, they present you with a tie and a
So you're an official Rochdale player?
Well, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago. So I did that, and then it just grew out of that. And girls came along, and I just did more. I got more into what I was doing. And I wanted to be a prop maker. That was my other thing.
Right.
Yeah, you wanted to look cool in front of the girls. You didn't want to be a footballer.
Yeah.
Hey,
So I
girls,
thought
will
they'd
you come
more-
back and see my pencil case?
They'd be more into coming looking at me felt tips. Than
Yeah.
Come and check this
How
out.
hard's the lead in your pencil?
I wanted to be a prop maker. That was it. That was my step.
Right.
And then somebody got me into that. My dad knew somebody else.
Where was that then?
I did it place called Art Attack in Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
It was on Temperance Street, and I worked there for about 2 years doing props, scenery for Granada.
What kind of stuff did you make?
I did the weather map for Fred Talbot.
Did you?
Yeah. Do you remember the weather map in the docks?
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, didn't we have someone on? I don't know if this is. We're gonna have to put
Our friend Steve Royal, who will be appearing in this podcast either before or after you, we don't know yet. He jumped on the weather map. didn't
Yeah, he's on the weather.
I don't know if Fred Talbot. Are we allowed to say Fred Talbot?
Well, we're allowed to say him.
you know.
He exists in the canon of, of This Morning and all its.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say, "Oh, what a
foibles.
misunderstood guy."
Yeah, we're not going to say good guy. No, the convicted Fred Talbot. Yes,
As he fell off my Pennines in the Albert Dock.
Yeah.
I worked on that, did stuff like that, did loads of stuff for Corrie.
Yeah.
And that was really cool because we used to work in Granada. We did that for about 6 months.
Right.
So we could watch them filming while we were making props.
So what kind of things were you making? That Newton and Ridley beer pumps and
We did all sorts of bits and bobs. We did stuff for the studio tours. So I did loads of stuff for that. So I did like a bike and there was a sign writing in there. I did sign writing on the street. My best one was I made a frying pan for Mavis to hit Derek with.
That's great.
Which is quite a cool
Yeah,
one.
it is good,
So
yeah.
literally the producers came into the studio, into the place where we were working and said,
how long did it take to make that?
it was a couple of days. I was
you sure?
I was an apprentice.
You don't really know.
Yeah, I was an apprentice. I went
for the
round.
kids.
I went down Harper Flea Market.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a flea market is, but it was one there.
Yeah.
And I bought a frying pan and we had to saw the bottom off and I had to make a latex bottom for it. So it was false. So it looked like a frying pan and I painted it all up to look as it did. And then
She smacked him in the gob with it.
I had it on Betamax for about 5 years.
Yeah.
You know.
Peter Derrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mavis, there was a fox or something in the back garden. Right. And Mavis came down in the night and it was Derek in the back garden coming back from the pub. And she smashed me over the head with my pan.
So, are you responsible for the cabin being with a K and not a C? Did you do that?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
That annoys me more than anything.
That
in
was
the world.
Tupac.
But they've always been called
No, I
things like
know,
that,
but
crazy calf.
Yeah.
I know it annoys me.
I don't like
It's
it.
like crazy cuts and stuff like
Yeah,
that. They always
yeah,
stick
yeah.
a Z on the end, don't they? To
Yeah,
make it
it's
cool. The cabin's cool.
Heads with a Z.
I blew Des Barnes' boat up as well. Don't know if you ever remember that. That was in
The
Lim.
canal.
In Lim.
Yeah, the
They had
canal.
a canal boat on there. So we went down to Lim and cut it apart and blew it up.
Wow.
That was a cool job. I did a set for Stars in Your Eyes as well.
Did you?
Yeah. So I just wish I had footage of all these, but it was that long ago.
Tonight.
It started out as a set for something else.
Yeah.
And then they put the smoke on, and then they just blew the smoke away, and it was a set.
Start
for
off as the cabin. Tonight, I'm going to be an ITV game show.
You knew it was good because you looked at it for 2 seconds, and then everyone just went like,
Yeah,
started clapping.
I think it was some builder from Horwich coming out as Andy Bell from Erasure, coming out of all this vape smoke, and suddenly he's there.
Don't you know? I went to watch Stars in Their Eyes being recorded once, and I don't know why I went. Oh, because Ted Robbins was always doing the warm up, and he asked us to go and watch him, and it's a long day. And the girl who was Christina Aguilera had to dance, and there's all candles on the floor. She was the genie in a bottle, right? And she kept knocking the candles over. She had to do it like 6 times. Wow! And 4 of them were after she knew she'd not won.
Oh,
I'm like, nah, you've got your shot. See ya.
yeah.
You would know because you know that, don't you? But when you're like, a member of the public. So that's how you did that. And then how did you finish doing that?
So I did prop making for about 3 years. I did some bits for Cosgrove Hall and stuff like that. Which is pretty good. So I worked on some of the cells for Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse, in Charlton. That was cool. But then it sort of dried up, and I was getting £100 a week, I reckon, which was a lot back then. It was enough to fuel my Ford Fiesta that I had, my first car. And then I went into games. My dad, again, talking to somebody in the pub, said, Justin can draw all this. And I literally went down to this games company in Cheetham Hill. This guy who my dad drank with owned the games company. And I ended up working on games for 12 years.
What was the first game company you worked for?
Software Creations. So we were literally the biggest developer in the country outside of Nintendo. I did mainly PlayStation 1, did PC, Master System, all the NES, all the early days, really.
Yeah. So you do creating the art?
I did a lot of the artwork, yeah. Did stuff like building stadiums for FIFA. So when we went down the 3D route, I was one of the first people using 3D software.
So coding?
No, building them. Actually building them in 3D, like 3D Studio.
And then film. Oh, was that how they did then?
Colouring them, texturing them, painting them. Yeah.
Like in real life, that you'd build them out of plywood or whatever?
No. They build them in 3D
in the computer?
In the computer.
Right.
Yeah. Jurassic Park, the first Jurassic Park, what they used to make that film is what I was using before Jurassic Park. I couldn't tell you how to switch it on now, but back then it was like the biggest thing.
Clever boy.
Way back.
And now you did that for 12 years? And then
did that for 12 years.
Last job?
FIFA, Spider-Man. No, I went into education after that. I've got a bit of a crazy mixture of things. It's the games industry just went pear-shaped. I changed jobs 4 times in 12 months because after 9/11, the whole industry went pear-shaped. So our company went bust. Literally, that was like a bereavement. It was horrible.
After 9/11, you only had one life left.
It was something like
Just after the 2 times.
that was game over for me. Yeah. So
It was like
Did you draw anyone that we...
Al-Qaeda was boss level.
Anything that we'd like... Any characters that we'd know? Like, are they... You know what I mean? Like
Spider-Man.
Right.
Spider-Man.
Oh, cool.
We know Spider-Man.
I've heard of him.
Have you met him? Yeah.
I've
So
heard of
if
him.
you go back and play some
He's
of
got a website.
if you play Spider-Man and go back to the games, my graffiti, going back to graffiti,
Yeah.
which is weird. I didn't think about that. My name is on a load of the walls in Spider-Man.
Oh, cool.
In the original game.
Oh, that's great.
So
That was the first one where it was like, oh, this is New York.
Yeah.
I remember playing that and
Do
going...
you know what I did? I went around Manchester and took pictures of all the buildings in Manchester because they're all pretty cool at the top.
But then that's what they did.
That's what I put into the game.
But then that's what they did. Isn't that what they did in the film?
Yeah. There are lots of it's filmed here now.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
back
yeah.
then, I don't know if
Some of the films, like Captain America, he starts running in the northern quarter and then stops running at the Albert Dock.
Yeah. He gets as far as the Abergeldy Cafe and they have to.
And then he gets to the Albert Dock. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. And there's still, in the northern quarter, there's loads of still posters and things around from filming.
Right.
You can still spot things.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But when I did FIFA, one of my good FIFA stories was because we had a works football team because games industry is mainly lads. So we did 5-a-side every week. We had a games league between all the big companies like Acclaim, Electronic Arts,
EDOS.
Signosis,
IDOS or whatever they
all
call
that sort of stuff.
Ocean, were they still going there?
Ocean, I think they'd gone then, but they were ironically next to Art Attack.
They were in Manchester, weren't they? Yeah,
They were in Temperance Street, yeah. So when we did FIFA, all the programmers put all these codes in, like where you could stand on one leg and press buttons in certain orders that you got in magazines. So when England played, it was our football team from work. So when Shearer scored in FIFA 2002, I think it is, it was my face when he runs towards the camera. So if you go back and play the retro, and he's got his arm in the air,
That's you.
my face. Wow. So when I tell kids stories in schools and go on about being an artist and stuff, I say I always wanted to be a professional footballer, and I've scored in the World Cup. Scored about 15 one game.
So when they make the games like that, do they put cheat codes in so you can have an enormous Peter Crouch and
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you not remember NBA Jam? You could be Bill Clinton on the NBA Jam Tournament Edition.
are they called Easter eggs?
Easter eggs.
Yeah. So you went to education. What did you do in education?
I was a trust media manager, which
Right, we've
sounds
had enough of that.
taking me down the exciting route. I became a school governor as well, loads of
Did
boring
you?
stuff. Yeah. So I looked after loads of kids over 3 schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long did you do that for?
15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And still kept you around.
I kept me out going along the side. What I did was keep me out alongside everything that I've ever done. And games industry paid really well, so I didn't really do a lot. I just did games. And then when I went into education, that paid less. But I then ended up doing more stuff to help kids and then more stuff to sort of promote well-being and stuff. And down a different route, really. I grew up a bit.
Right.
But I still sold my artwork. And then eventually it was a seesaw thing of am I brave enough to walk away?
And when did that happen? What was the moment? I'm always interested in when people make the decision.
Mainly, I would say when my dad died and in the lead up to it, I guess, because it sort of became a bit of a traumatic well-being time, and it was one of them things. My dad got cancer. This is not going to darken the mood, etc. But it's
also, I mean, from what you've told us about your dad, clearly, when your dad dies, he's not going to be able to get any more jobs, is he?
Well, this is it. I had to find a job that would keep me going for long enough.
Because I mean, you relied on him for so long, haven't you, for jobs?
And plus, we don't go in the pub anymore.
I just did that because he said he was darting in the mood. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind. You don't mind, do you?
No, my dad would love it.
Yeah.
If my dad was there, he'd have a good laugh. So that's where I...
or if he didn't laugh, he'd know somebody who could
absolutely
get your laugh sorted, yeah. So your dad passing and that... Where were you in your life? Were you with children by now, or?
Yeah. So I've got a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. And so my dad was very prominent in their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my dad passed away 3 years ago, and then from then, I was doing a big artwork at the Printworks at the time.
Yep.
Big cultural Manchester artwork, and then we were due to unveil it just at the time when he was getting worse. So we had to delay it 3 months, and then when we unveiled it in the October after he died in July, finally, I'd decided before it went to the printers to put my mum and dad's wedding photo in it, and nobody knew. So I sneaked my mum and dad's wedding, so they became like my mum.
A memorial.
Little memorial.
Yeah.
They took it down now.
Should have had your mum and dad's wedding photo on Alan Shearer's face.
I could still do that.
Or just catching the bouquet. So, best thing about your job. What's the best thing about your job? The freedom.
Freedom.
Oh, we like that.
I can do what I want every day.
Yeah.
Sort of.
What's the worst thing about your job?
I don't think there is a worst thing, really. I wouldn't. I'm just very lucky. Well, I've worked hard to get.
What's the hardest thing about your job then? What do you find the most difficult? I
think the hardest thing is coming up with ideas.
What about the business side of stuff, like the invoicing and the
invoicing? I suppose you've got the thing that people don't pay sometimes, and you get that. But generally, it's I love it.
Do you use like brushes and that?
What for paying?
Yeah. What about the worst thing about is
the worst thing?
Wash your own?
I'd like to Dragon's Den something that cleans oil brushes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that must
just use them once and chuck them.
Yeah, I do. I know. Because
it does my
head very
in.
similar. But when I did my cupboards the other week, I used about four.
Not worth it.
I used about 4 brushes.
The price of them. I don't even. That's one thing about art. It's accessible. It's not expensive.
No.
So I'm not one of these who pays 100 quid for brushes. I pay a couple of quid. Use them, and if I do acrylic, you can clean them. It's easy. If you do oil, I just bin them.
And where'd you get your brushes from?
The Works.
The Works.
The Works are Hobbycraft.
Underrated.
Hobbycraft.
The Works,
The Works is amazing. I just like going in because I like the smell of the place.
Sheila, that.
Are you gonna? I bet you're going to tell me it's too expensive.
Go on.
But there's a shop right in Manchester.
Fred Alders.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
What's it called?
Fred Alders.
It's too arty.
Is that in the Northern Quarter?
Yeah.
On the corner, Stevenson Square. Yeah.
Too arty.
I know, but you can just lose yourself in there.
I love shops like that, and I love
buy stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
What's the one in Liverpool that shut down and like there was loads of people on Facebook going, "Oh, this is a disgrace," and that. No, it was an art supply shop.
But it sold like paper. And
Yeah.
Folded.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Cuts.
You're really trying to claw back after this zebra thing. Zebra gate.
Never getting that back.
Never getting that back.
That's going to go with me for life. I
love that.
Anyway,
but it's short, and loads of people. My point is, loads of people are on Facebook going, "Oh, this is a disgrace," and then loads of other people going, "Did you go though?" And then they're like,
See, I love art shops, but I'm not a traditional artist. I suppose.
No,
I don't look like a traditional artist. If that's the
what
thing.
do you
Is that a thing?
He's there with his white t-shirt on. He's like architect glasses.
This century,
dressing all right, but yeah.
Is that a Stone Island jacket you're wearing? Is that Stone Island?
CP jacket, Stone Island pants.
He looks like.
I like clothes.
Yeah, he looks like He looks like a football hooligan, but he's got his own business.
And he wrote a book about it. How art saved him from smashing someone's head in at West Ham away.
Painting and pints.
Yeah.
From cans on the train to cans in the gallery.
Canvas.
If you're an expert, which you are, what's the one thing that people get wrong about your job? The example Danny and I always give is we get frustrated beyond belief that when we see somebody using a microphone in a film and they're nervous, what happens?
Well, they always tap it.
Yeah, and you get the feedback.
Yeah.
We've been comedians between us now for nearly 40 years. Never happened.
Doesn't happen.
No.
Never heard a howling microphone.
Yeah.
What's your pet peeve?
Pet peeve is you get them two things. What do you do for a job? I'm an artist. First thing you say, piss artist. So I get that. That is literally. I mean, if you've heard that. And as well, I've got a hoodie that's got artist written on the front. Yeah. And when they say that, I always say the piss is written under the hood. Yeah. Because and obviously, when I introduce myself, rather than saying that I'm a professional colour-inner, that's easier than saying I'm an artist, because then you've got somewhere to go.
So, Justin, if you weren't doing this now, what would you be doing? Have you got any transferable skills?
Not really. Is there any?
Would you go back into education? Could you teach art at schools?
I'd teach art probably, yeah. Working with kids, I think. Making kids, inspiring kids, getting kids to be good at stuff.
I mean, I don't want to labour the point, but I mean, it's a good job your dad was around, because you've got no clue, have you?
I've got no idea now. This is the thing. Do you know what? I'm over 50. I've only ever had 2 interviews.
Yeah. And your dad did one of them for you, probably.
My dad did one in the vault.
All right. The moment's come now, Justin. Big moment. Everyone's favourite part when they come on as a guest now. Room for improvement. We throw it open to you for your message for the haters.
So I only got a C in my art A level. And I think I only got a B in my O levels. And that, to the examiner, I just want to say, I'm a professional artist now. And what are you doing? Are you still in your suit, in your little backroom cupboard, judging people? No. This is how I live my life.
Brilliant, yeah.
It's probably dead, to be fair.
It's probably dead.
Apart from art, what's Justin's life like? I don't mean mine. We don't even mention it. We both got Justin. Yeah. What does life look like away from the day job? How do you fill your spare time?
Spare time, generally with the kids, watching nonsense on telly, playing on the PlayStation with my little boy as he tries to 110% every single game that he ever plays on. Going out theatre with the wife, we do that a lot, probably once a week if we can. Eating out, all the usual stuff, just family stuff, really.
Thanks very much for being here. Before you go, we're going to have a little go for our Patreon episode to see if we can be improved as artists from our original bits. Can we do better than that?
Yeah.
Top 3 tips for us to be better artists, to improve as artists.
Concentration, I think. Have you got that?
Sorry, what was it? Concentrate. I'm going to write these
Concentration.
down. Yeah.
In what way? Just focus on what you're doing.
Focus is probably a better one, I suppose. Focus.
You'd like put your tongue out.
Yeah, sometimes put your tongue out, maybe raise your little finger,
like
all that sort of stuff.
Do you reckon you could go for a week away to learn how to do that?
What, to concentrate or focus?
Yeah, you could go to concentration camp.
You can join a focus group.
Edit that, please. Tip 2.
Tip 2. A good eye for colour, I'd say. Maybe. I think that's good.
Do you like my coloured hat?
I like colour. I think you both coordinated pretty well, because you've got your yellow and beige
yellow shoes on, yellow t-shirt.
Exactly, and I've gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trainers to match the watch.
We're all paletted.
I'm a little bit blue-black colourblind.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I find blue and black hard to distinguish.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I think mine's fine.
Yeah, well, you're younger man than me, aren't you?
So can you not see him today?
Yeah, I was like, where am I?
So concentrate, colour aware. I hope the third one's a C.
I think we should go for it. Should we try and get another C in?
Yeah.
Character. What about that?
You need character in your art.
Yeah, let's have that. Yeah, a bit of character, because I think if you
yourself.
Because doing a portrait is always better me in that.
Right, which bit do you put in?
Alan Shearer's face.
So Marilyn Monroe always has my nose. No.
Stevie Wonder suddenly wearing glasses for no reason. Why is Stevie Wonder wearing his glasses? Nobody wears shades.
He's got a bald head now. I think there's a bit of you in all your art. There's definitely a bit of you in all your art. So if you do that cartoon, there's definitely somewhere in that is you.
Yeah, that's what my hair used to look like.
Some big fat hands.
Big Prince Charles fingers.
Because it's like an emotional release.
Yeah, so concentration.
Yeah,
we're going to go three C's.
Concentrate, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be eye for colour.
Yeah.
And put a bit of our own character in.
Yeah.
Justin, thanks very much for joining us in our room for
Thank you.
improvement.
Thank you so much.
You've been very good.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Thank
pal.
you.
Thank you so much.
So that was Justin Eagleton. Very, very nice man.
Great guy.
Great guy. And thanks for all your support, Justin. And I know you've been heavily promoting the podcast for us and talking about it. And then we spent a bit of time with him afterwards, didn't we? Learning to draw a bit and having a go. We'd like to see how we got on. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really good.
I did Danny, he did me. So we'll do it the right way around. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's reveal how we did. So this is what me and Danny did. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I was pretty good. I did that with my left hand as well.
Hang on a minute. Did you sign it as well at the bottom?
Yeah, I thought
Why
no.
has Justin Eagleton signed the bottom of those?
Well, I thought no one would believe it was me, so I had to do someone else's signature.
That's what Justin did of us. we also.
Mine was a lot different.
Mine is a lot different than that. I mean, I don't even want to look at that because it's too accurate. We're going to give this away to somebody, so I'm going to keep it safe.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't roll it up.
Keeping it straight, though, right? Rolling it up.
Okay.
That's what you're supposed to do with important documents. So, if you want to see how we got on drawing, then the Patreon people can do so.
You want to see Justin make me look like a sloth?
If you want to make Danny look good. You look good on mine, I think. I think you look quite rugged.
I look like a sloth.
A rugged sloth.
But I was on, like, Sloth Crime Watch, and I'm, like, banned from 500 yards within sloth schools. And I have to go knock on everyone else's sloth house when I move in the sloth area. I have to go to everyone else's tree.
All right, Daniel.
And be like, I'm in the tree round the corner.
Sloth law. Sloth law. So
Awful.
We recorded the podcast with Justin a few weeks ago now, and so we're just catching up to it. And when we got the photographs, they're far from photographs. When we got the crime watch pictures out, we laughed again, didn't we?
Yeah, it was really bad. But they were really bad. But in spirit of the podcast, Justin obviously made us draw something before he taught us.
Yeah.
And we did well better.
Yeah, it improved.
I think so.
We improved. What did you learn from him?
I don't know.
Just what I learned.
What did you learn?
Well, I didn't learn, but what got reinforced was that every creative endeavour, whether it's writing jokes, forming a set or a show, whatever, it's not, we forget that it's quite hard. And we forget you've got to put time in.
Patience.
Patience and time. And with an artist, you can see that.
Right.
You can see that developing with you in when you're at your job, when they say you and I, when you're just doing stuff which just sounds like it's come out of your head, it takes longer because you can't see it developing in front of you.
Also, the difference is as well is that he wouldn't do half a picture and then take it to a new picture night and be like, how's this?
But he will. He'll sketch stuff, I think.
Yeah, but he doesn't go and then put it out there in front of an audience and they go, oh, maybe change that bit and that.
Artists very rarely will show work in progress.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
However, what is very common in the art world, because I am a bit of an art connoisseur, is that you can go to an exhibition and you'll see the sketches.
Oh, right.
They did that. Sometimes it's very interesting to see the...
well, like half a tin of beans. Tin of soup, half a tin of soup.
Oh, yeah. It started off with beans and then he decided to go... Campbell's wasn't... Heinz wasn't quality, so he went to Campbell's.
He did it 57 times.
Yeah, very
That's
good.
why. That's where
Good
that's
bean
from.
knowledge. He's had good bean knowledge since he was a wee baby.
Yeah, I've got
Since
good.
He was in the haricot.
Good bean. Oh my god, that was really good but bad.
It's got to have one in every podcast. Listen, we've got a lovely new podcast coming next week. Don't forget to tell everybody, share this, encourage people to take on the Patreon. It's really important that you join us on Patreon because that way we can keep making great content for you.
Yeah, it's gonna get shit if you don't.
No, and the idea is it needs to improve.
No, it won't. Yeah, exactly.
It needs to improve. Thanks very much, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.